Hey guys, welcome back to Diesel Please Arc. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as promised, today we are going to take a look at the flyers. Initially, you know what, I was just thinking about placing the Pterodon against the Argentavis, but since you guys have been so amazing, I thought why not just add in the Tapejara and the Pelagornis into the equation. Of course, we didn't add in the Virant because I strongly believe that they are a whole league by themselves. So we put the four of these flyers into competition, and I actually went through their melee damage, DPS, walking speed, because why not, flying speed, the dinos I can believe that I'll also go through which of these dinos can be Bola so that you can actually tame them up easily. We go through their torpor and also their stat increment. So without further ado, before we get to it, well, before I forget, Diesel, you are always speaking too fast, man. Right, for all those subscribers, thank you all so much, guys. You guys are amazing. And for those guys who like the video, remember to smash the subscribe button at the end of the video or anywhere else in between the video, if you like, and your comments behind. Alright guys, so let's get to it. Alright, so first up, DPS and damage. So if you guys watched my previous video, if you use the dummy, you will only get DPS based on attached structures. We don't want that, we want DPS based on dino damage. So we have to do some calculation whereby we have to take the DPS multiplier, the melee damage, get them all to the same level of melee damage. For this example, we will be using 100% melee damage, and then we can actually find out the DPS. So the Argentavis primary attack came up tops at 23.7, and the Pelagornis came up to be the weakest DPS at 19.1. And all of this DPS that you guys actually seeing here is based on 100% melee damage output from the different dinos. So before we explore the speeds of the dino, I found out something really interesting. Depending on which species the dino are, they come with a standard movement speed regardless of the level. For example, we have a level 24 Ptera down here, and you can see his movement speed is 135%, and a level 150 Pterodon has the same movement speed of 135% when he tames out. For example, let's just take a look at the Argentavis this time. So level 150 Argentavis tames up at 100 movement speed, and a level 30 Argentavis tames up at level 100 movement speed too. It's exactly the same for the Pelagornis and the Tapejara. So the Tapejara has 136.5 movement speed, and the Pelagornis has the similar 136.5 movement speed. So I am just really curious to see if these movement speeds for the flyers, it's exactly the same. So for example, 100% movement speed on an Argentavis, is it going to be the same as 100% movement speed on a Tapejara, for example? So we're going to do some calculations right now, and we are going to be right back. So those two were the quick snippets of the test we actually did. So now the burning question, is the movement speed the same across the board for the flyers? The answer is no. If you take a look at the movement speed for the Pelagornis and the Tapejara, you realize that it's exactly the same. However, the time taken is different. So the movement speed depends on the dino species. In terms of fastest to slowest, the Pterodon was the fastest in the air and the Tapejara the slowest. Just to give you guys a feel on how fast the Pteranodon is as compared to the other dinos, the Pteranodon is 1.1 times faster than the Argentavis, 1.4 times faster than the Pelagornis, and 1.5 times faster than the Tapejara. I was really expecting more between the Pteranodon and the Argentavis, but the difference isn't that much. I did the same test on the ground, and the results were pretty stark. The Argentavis came up the fastest on the ground and the Pelagornis the slowest. And an additional information for those guys who are wondering, the Pelagornis' speed on the water is exactly the same as its flying speed. Next up, let's take a look at the stamina consumption. The Pelagornis consumed the most amount of stamina at 6.5 stamina per second, and the Argentavis took the least at 5.7 per second. So next up, we're gonna check out their torpor. We have like all level 150s down here, and I have this amazing mod that shows the torpor and the health bar. So let's see how many trank shots it actually takes to bring each of these dinos down. The Argentavis took the most amount of trank shots to the head at 23, and the least amount was taken by the Pteranodon. Take note that I waited for the maximum torpor's effectiveness before firing off the next shot. And another really important thing about headshot is that although it gives out a lot of torpor, if your flyer is not high level, they tend to take lots of damage, and you can actually kill the dino before tranking him down. In one of the previous videos, we did a test between the Spino and the T-Rex torpor depletion, and we realized that the Spino had 3 times more torpor depletion as compared to the T-Rex. So I had to do the same test for the flyers, and I realized that all the flyers have the same amount of torpor depletion per second at 0.21. So, for Bola, every single one of these dinos can actually be Bola except the Argentavis. So for those guys who are actually wondering what the Bola is, it's actually this sling with the rock whereby you can actually throw it at the dino, and thereafter the dino will not be able to move, and then you can actually bring out the tranquilizing darts or arrows and then trank them down. And these are the dinos that can be lifted up by 4 of these dinos. Nope, ain't gonna happen. The Argentavis is a medium lifter, and he also has good health, weight, and melee damage stats. The Pteranodon is a speed demon, and he has a high damage spin attack. The Pelagornis is good for organic polymer and fishing. The Tapejara is good for raiding or getting into the caves because it has the rider seat, the front seat, and the back seat. So you can actually get 3 guys riding on this bad boy down here, and it's also the most maneuverable aerial dino whereby he can move in all axes. Alright guys, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Diesel Plays Argy. If you like this episode, remember to smash the subscribe button and also join the notification squad by pressing the bell beside the subscribe button. Leave your likes and your comments behind. Remember to also share the videos, and I am heading to my favorite flyer right now. That's right guys. My favorite flyer will always be the Pteranodon because of the speed and also because of his spin attack. It's really an amazing dino, and you guys can also tell me what you guys feel about the Pteranodon or the other dinos that I actually covered during this episode, and also tell me which one is your favorite flyer in the game. Right, minus off the Quetzal and the Virant, because you know it's not in this test down here. More so, out of this 4, which one is your favorite and why? So guys, till next time, take care and goodbye.